Alright, so today is June 15th, 2021. We planted potatoes right around about 2 months ago, mid-April. And I planted 72 sets, about 3 pounds, and today I'm harvesting on my Hügelkultur bed. Take a look. This is 2 months worth of growth, from April to June. All these plants were standing up tall up until a few days ago. They started to really droop and wilt. Because we'll be going on vacation next week, I wanted to go ahead and harvest today to see what we can get out of these 72 potato sets. So here's one we're going to pull up right here. It's on the edge of the Hügelkultur bed. Down here towards the bottom, there's not a lot of soil or material down here. We're going to pull it up. Look at that. Look at that, 2 big potatoes. Most of my seed potatoes were smaller than this when I did it. But look at that. I mean, we're talking about just a couple of inches of soil here. And it's mostly some manure and some hay. Look at that. Not a lick of dirt in here. And those potatoes came out. Obviously not a lot of potatoes, but quite a few. This is just grass. I'm going to get rid of that. Let's try another one here. There's another one here. Well, that's a poke salad. Get that out of the way. Let's see what this one looks like. Well, that one, bit of a dud there. That's the first dud I've seen so far. Most of these are putting out pretty good. Let's try this one here. One little one there. Little bitty one there. So it's kind of hit or miss with these. Some of these are probably better than others. So we'll keep digging. Stay tuned. Alright, take a look at this. Look at that. Just one. Oh, no, wait, there's more. There's 2 more. And look at that. In just a couple inches of soil. And it's not even real soil. Little bitty one. That'd be a good one biter. What I really like about this Hügelkultur scenario is because, you know, when you look at it, you may think it's not very many harvest out of 1 or 2 plants, but I've already got more potatoes right here than I would have gotten planting directly into the ground. Just look at all these rocks we have. I mean, can you imagine trying to plant potatoes in that kind of a scenario? Look at all these rocks. Just nothing but rocks around here. Here's my compost bins. This ground is just so rocky, and this video barely even really does it justice. Just so many rocks. Look at that. There's just no way a person can grow anything in the ground this type of soil, which is not really soil, it's rocks. So anyway, I think I would say this Hügelkultur experiment is a success, at least on the when it comes to potatoes. Let's keep digging. Now check this out. This plant here I just pulled up, and just an inch of hay and some manure. 1, 2, 3, 4, plus another little bitty one. It's 5. Not too shabby. Keep digging here. Just look how loose that soil is right there. See that? Let's see what's in here. Alright, 1, 2. Alright, so just 2. It's 2 more than I would have gotten if I planted out in the oh wait, look at there. Oh, there's another one. Those are attached to another plant. Look at that. Way more than I would have ever dreamed of getting out of a traditional garden scenario here. I just stepped on my watermelon, so I hope it produces. Alright, let's see. Alright, just keep digging. So one thing I've been finding on here is I'm harvesting the taters. The higher up on the bed that they're growing, in most cases, the bigger the potatoes and the more the quantity. which I guess would make sense. There's more nutrients and more depth up top. But as you can see, this soil is hay. And it's actually pretty dry. Look at that. Look how dry it is. And it just rained a few days ago. We got like inches and inches and inches of rain. But further down in here as you go, it's still quite moist. And you look down there and you can see sticks. You can see that or not. Sticks, that's the organic material we put below the soil in the hay. So this is going to be mostly this right here. You see that plant didn't get very deep. I probably could have let it go for a while and it might have produced something, but these little bitty nubs probably are just about done. Let's try this one here. This one's here pretty close to the top. Big thick stalk. Let's pull it up and see what we got here. Look at that. Look at that. Looks like a little snowman. Okay, so not the biggest harvest, but pretty decent sized tubers for being planted in hay. Let's try this one here. Oh wow, look at that. Look at that. 1, 2, that's a big one. 3, 4. Okay, so just 4. They're decent ones, look at that. I got pretty big monster hands, look at that. These aren't russets and they weren't supposed to be russets. These are little red stew potatoes. These are the type that you want to boil it or steam with some butter, some chives, some salt and pepper. These are the best kind. These are absolutely my favorites. Look at that. Alright, let's get this. This appears right up top. Very top of the bed. Let's see what it got. Just 1. No? 2. Okay, so that one just got 2. My theory isn't foolproof. Let's see, that's got 1. Tell you what though, horseflies are out for their harvest today too. Golly. Between them and the mosquitoes. Worst part of Arkansas summers. Look at that, there's another one. One thing I will do differently next year, which when I planted 72 sets, I didn't really think that it would be too much for this little bed, but what happened was I ended up planting some onions and some Swiss chard that got smothered out by the potatoes because they grew so well. So next year, this again, I'll definitely be doing something a little bit different so I can give my other plants opportunity to actually grow. Probably spread them out a little bit. My brother did help me make a new Hügelkultur bed. I've had 2 of them across the way over where my old chicken barn used to be. And sucker decided to crawl up my arm. And so we're gonna do a little bit of experimentation. I threw a truckload of horse manure out there on them the other day and let them start homogenizing. And then the next year I'll probably do one with nothing but potatoes, save a couple other of the beds for something else. We're almost done with this harvest. Let's see how much more we got here. Just a couple more plants and then we're done. Oops, that one broke. Let's see what this got here. Oh, look at that. Nothing quite like digging in soil. Harvesting the fruits of your labor. I love it. As John Denver would say, thank God I'm a country boy. And thankful for my brother. He turned me on to this method. Honestly, I thought he was a little crazy when he first told me. But seeing how his potatoes and onions and garlic have done it with it, I realized I was the fool. But maybe not so much since I actually listened to him. Oh, and did I mention my brother Elias, the one that helped me put this together and gave me the idea? He's about 15 years younger than me. The boy's pretty smart. But anyway, I'm almost done here. I'm gonna get everything inside, then I'll weigh it on camera and we'll see what we can come up with on the weight. See how many times over my harvest yielded. One way you know you have a healthy garden is you have these little critters in it, little earthworms. They love this rich loam that is the Hügelkultur bed. Hardly looks like the same bed, doesn't it? Hardly looks like the same bed. Over there, got a little bit of tomatoes growing in a pot. They need some help, some stakes. Got some right there, growing on the edge of the Hügelkultur. Another small one over here somewhere. All the greenery that I pulled up here and elsewhere is being thrown into my compost right here. Got a compost bin right there, throwing all that on it. Two other ones, I just cycled these out. Looks a little nasty, but eventually, next day or two, I'm going to take all this greenery to my other Hügelkultur beds that don't have any greenery on them at all and have yet to be planted. Throw the greenery on top of that and let that start breaking down. One more thing I've experimented with this year is planting green beans, pole variety. These are Blue Lake pole variety climbers. Plant them around the base of these hardwoods out here in the edge of the trees. You can see they're starting to grow. They're starting to try to join up with these other trees, but honestly, don't think they're going too well. I don't have a water hose that'll stretch out this far. Haven't been able to water them too well. I just wanted to kind of experiment and see what would happen if I try to plant them in a natural setting versus a cultivated garden. So far, my green bean experiment is not working out too well. Whereas my mother, her garden, traditionally they planted in rows. They've already harvested and canned their first batch. So for now, I'm going to say my potato harvest was successful. My green beans, well, it's yet to be discovered. Tomatoes are going okay, but they're a little ways from being ready to be harvested because they're still green. But I'd say Hügelkultur experiment, it's A-. Would have liked to have seen better, bigger potatoes, and I would have liked to have been able to harvest also my Swiss chard and some onions in amongst the potatoes, but too much shade means plants don't grow, so no harm, no foul there, but I do know what to do next time. Let's go inside and weigh these puppies. All right, now for the moment of truth. We've gotten all the potatoes washed in a smaller tub, and we're going to set them on these bathroom scales. It may not be the most accurate way of measuring them, but we're going to do the best we can. We'll weigh them on these bathroom scales, and let's see what we can come up with. Are you ready? I am. We are at 0. All right. Well, where are we at? Can't see the dial. Well, afraid of that happening. Well, let's try it this way. So I went back and talked to my brother Elias, and he confirmed that we planted 3 pounds of potatoes. And so I weighed them on the bathroom scales. I tried, as you saw earlier, but couldn't quite get an accurate count. So I had my wife weigh herself and then hold the bin of potatoes while she weighed again. And I did not record that because that would be improper. Everybody knows that. You can't document a woman's weight. So I won't tell you what that was, but we confirmed that we have 20 pounds of potatoes. So the best I can figure, I'm not good at math, that would be 20 pounds of potatoes out of 3 pounds of seed. It's a 6 2/3% gain. So, or I guess 6 2/3 times gain over. So I was hoping for a 10% gain, but or a 10-fold gain, but I'll take 6 2/3. That's not too bad for an old country boy trying something for the first time. So I hope you enjoyed this journey. I intend to document some more of my journeys here around Bryan Ridge and Dogwood Hollow, as we call it here. So hope you've enjoyed it. Next time maybe we'll try to do it a little more professionally instead of me holding it in selfie mode the whole time, but hey, that's all I can do. And by the way, I wanted to mention, none of this would be possible without Jehovah Jireh, my provider.